Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? It's Friday night, and we wanted to hop on and do a little sweet tea session for you guys. A little bit of news going on today with the Victoria Rose Smith case. And yeah, here we are. How are you, Fruit Loop?
I'm good. It's been a crazy day, but good. Busy. Doctor's appointments. I hate going to the doctor.
I do too.
I hate it. And I'm like Grammy. My blood pressure goes up when I go in. Then they're like, your blood pressure's up. And I'm like, it wasn't at home.
Yeah, it's called white coat syndrome.
Yeah.
My grandma has it. My grandpa totally had it. But
yeah, and they make you feel like you're going to have a stroke and die.
I know, right? I thought I was going to have a heart attack in Target today, but it turns out it was just the onion rings that I had for lunch. I was like, Grammy, I don't feel good. I think I'm having a heart attack. She said, you ain't done it. And then, I realized it was indigestion.
Yeah, that's funny.
I literally got Tums and popped them before I paid for them.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? But I paid for them, so there you go.
My dad does that in Walmart. He'll get a drink and drink it through the whole store, and then we pay for it when we leave.
Hand him an empty plastic bottle.
Yeah. And the people look at you like, what?
See, I'd like to return this. It had no fizz.
It had no fizz. So we had a funny video that people enjoyed.
At my expense, of course.
Oh, it's classic.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
This is nothing new that we do. We've always kind of jumped out from corners and tried to scare each other. So it was funny. It was a good one, though. I'm just surprised I didn't say a bad word.
No, I waited. Like, you walked out and went across the street, and I waited. I was hiding behind the car.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yes. It's coming, though. Payback.
You've tried twice.
I've tried twice. It's practice.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. It could be tonight. It could be a year from now, but it is coming.
Mason tried to get me today. I was in here working, and I felt like somebody was behind me, and I'm just sitting here. He tried to scare me, and it didn't work.
No, we're going to have to get creative. I just hope I don't make you pass out or something.
Yeah. Now you said I'm going to pretend. I'm going to fall out.
Yeah, and then you'll end up knock your head.
I will. Yeah, really knock myself out. So, in this room, was it yesterday? I forget what day it was.
It was a couple of days ago, I think.
It was so cold in here.
To you?
Oh, it was freezing. Like, you could cure a hog in here. It was so cold.
My grandpa, when he used to come over, especially when the kids were babies, he was over every day. And he would come in and say, where are you hiding the bodies?
For real. Somebody posted on that comment and said that their house is set to morgue.
That's hilarious because I can relate. I want to give a couple of quick shout outs. One to JC Golfer on Twitter. And we have a lot of fun back and forth. And Crime and All. So I want to say hi to those two. Very active on our Twitter. And so we like to give shout outs every now and then.
Yeah.
Really good people to talk to. I thoroughly enjoy our conversations over there. So what's up?
So the other, I don't even know what podcast it was.
It was our part 5 of, no, it was giving birth in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, it was giving birth in person. That's what I put.
Fruit Loop had a typo, and our YouTube listeners had a field day with that.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it took a minute for me to figure it out. You know what's funny, though, is that I caught it before, where was it I caught it? I caught it somewhere. Oh, because I had to post to Twitter the new episode. And so I fixed it, but I didn't even think to fix it on YouTube. And so the next morning I wake up and it's person, and I didn't quite get it. And then I saw the title and I was like, oh boy.
No, I was doing the same thing. What are they talking about?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
It was good.
So I'm not sure what in the heck you watched on YouTube, but
It is not me. I see it too.
no, it's one of I did not watch no pimple popper videos, but now every time
it pops up.
every time I pull up YouTube, there's these disgusting thumbnails of bumps.
Yeah,
and
but it's
abscesses.
like this. It's in Hong Kong or something.
Yeah, but did you watch like some kind of?
No,
Well,
I don't even watch YouTube.
really?
Yeah,
You're weird.
yeah, I don't watch YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I watch YouTube, but I don't watch pimple popper videos. I want to find out how to get those off. It turns my stomach. I'm not one
Yeah.
who finds Dr. Pimple Popper or whatever that show is amusing. Although I did show you them taking mango worms out of a dog.
Yeah, and that was just really gross.
That was so gross. But I don't watch
Ugh.
no pimple popper stuff.
That was gross.
No, it's nasty.
Yeah. So you've had fun with the cat?
He's so sweet. Oh my gosh, he's been such a good boy the last few days. I
It's
think
because he slept like 23 hours and 90 minutes.
yeah, he's been really sleepy, but so I think having the freedom to go out when he wants now has totally just changed his behavior to good. He stays in the yard. He likes to watch the squirrels. He doesn't chase them yet. And he's not spraying, but this morning at 6 a.m., I wake up and he's he's standing on my chest and he's headbutting me hard. And then, so I kind of sit up and he takes his cheek and rubs it really hard on both sides of my faces. Well, my faces.
Faces? You got two faces? You two-faced.
Oh, man.
You a two-faced.
And so I Google it, and that is a very big sign of affection. So I think he's telling me, I love you. So right now I'm in love with Sherlock.
Who says this?
Who
Like,
says what?
Who speaks to cats? And did the cat say, oh, I really love you. So when I do this, it means I love you.
Okay, so when Sherlock was a baby, I downloaded this purr interpreter on the App Store, and I would sit there when he was on my chest and try to figure out. It would tell me. They would listen to the purrs and say, your cat is very happy.
No.
Yeah.
Somebody created that sitting on a beach somewhere.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Charge me $1.99.
Yeah. No.
So he's been really good, but he has slept a lot. So I don't know. He's going to get fixed in a week and a half. So he may hate me after that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had the bond hearing for Austin Robinson today. And how did you feel about that one?
Shocked.
Same.
Yeah.
I
was
could not
shocked.
believe it.
No.
I mean, the thing for me is there's no way that the day she was murdered was the first time he had seen that child getting beat on.
No. One of the comments, and we're going to talk about it, it says that she got it worse than the other kids.
So if he had been a man months ago and alerted CPS or the authorities, that child could be here today.
Yeah.
I do not think he deserved bond
No.
at all. And not only that, but he lied on the 911 call.
Yeah.
And then he goes to CVS or Walgreens to go get the cream that you put on bruises to reduce the color of them. And they gave her an Epsom salt bath before they called 911. So had he not tried to cover up what his wife had done, maybe in that time, something could have happened that would have saved her life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, he's turned on her in a big way.
Yeah, he's turned on her, but that's to save his own honey.
Right. And I don't think he's going to get off. I mean, I think at the very least, he might get accessory after the fact. But
Yeah.
he got $150,000 bond today. Now, as of 7:40, right before we came on, he was still in custody.
Yep.
Now, you talked to some local bondsmen today, and what did they have to say?
I did. So I spoke with Brady at Catch 22 Bell Bondsman Company here in Greenville. And he kind of gave some information on this process. So he said the law states that they can't take any less than $25 down on a bond and can't charge more than 15% towards a bond. So 15% of $150,000 is $22,500. And yes, we figured that ahead of time because you know our math skills. We struggle. He did say that there's other companies in our area who would offer a less like money down.
Mm-hmm.
He said like $3,000 down, and he said that's very low. It's not something he would do, but there is a possibility that fee would, that cost would be lower. If they put up a house for collateral, it has to be worth at least 30 to 40% of the bond. So I asked him what does he look at in whether he takes or helps with someone getting out on bond. He said the severity of the charges could be who co-signs, how long they've been in the community. I spoke with another bondsman company, and some of the no's they said were if you've ever had a failure to appear, they will not sign that bond.
Yeah, that's a high risk.
Yeah.
They lose their money in that case too.
Exactly. So it was interesting just to hear some of that process. And he was very cool. So if you're in Greenville and you need a bail bondsman, give Catch 22 a call. Brady, he was cool. So,
Tell him Pretty Lie sent you.
That's right. So it was just, I was shocked by the bond.
Yeah,
I
I was too. I mean, I don't know clearly the fact that she physically murdered her, those are going to be the charges they go after. They want to get that first degree, probably whatever degree they're going to go for, those murder charges set in stone.
Yeah.
And he has testimony that will help them. But for me, if you don't report, you're helping. You're enabling the abuse to go on.
Yeah.
And so I don't have any respect for that. And so he has some conditions of his bond.
Yep.
Which is he has to be confined to his parents' house. He cannot be under anyone under the age of 18, including his own two sons, one of which is adopted. One is his son. We found that out today too, right?
Yep. One's adopted and one's his biological son.
And he has to wear an ankle monitor. So what did you find out about the ankle monitor today?
So I thought this was interesting. So the fee that I don't want to say inmate because they're not an inmate then, the defendant has to pay, that's the word I was looking for. It's on a sliding scale. So it's based on, I guess, what you make or what you made prior to.
Right. And this is where I'm confused because they were both unemployed. And according to some comments we saw on social media, people in their circle knew that they were just living off of this money they got for fostering these kids.
Yeah. So there's a weekly fee that goes along with that ankle monitoring system. And it's like $8.91 a day. So it's a sliding scale. Some people pay over $300 a month for that monitoring system.
I guess that's better than sitting in the pokey.
Yeah. And I read one article that said, the lady said she would pay that before she paid her rent.
Wow.
Because if she doesn't pay that, then you go back to jail.
Right.
So he's looking at, if he does make bail and get out, he's got some other things. And he's on house arrest, right?
Yeah. I mean, he can't leave his parents' house from what I understand. So
yeah. So how do you work and pay for that ankle monitor?
I don't think he's going to get a job anywhere with a charge of homicide by child abuse pending in the courts.
No.
No. I don't know. I'm just very shocked. Now, we have not been able to find the entire bond hearing yet. I do have a friend that works in media who I have reached out to. Their station was at the bond hearing today. We're trying to find it because you can always find little nuggets in these bond hearings when the prosecution's putting their argument forward as to why they shouldn't get bond. And we did hear a few things just in the clips we have seen today.
Yep. So one of them was Victoria got it worse than the other kids. So he stated that. The other one was security footage from the church. So the day before on that Wednesday, and we know she threw up going to church that night, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But in that security footage that showed no signs of bruising on her, and that Ariel walked her out. And, I mean, they said that Victoria had a diaper on. So I don't know if that was...
I don't know. We don't know if she was potty trained or what. But
Yeah.
So it goes to show you that sometime within less than 24 hours or 24 hour-ish, she went from no bruising to obviously when first responders immediately walked in and looked at her, they knew she had been beaten.
Yeah.
That is vicious.
Yeah.
And he says he heard the beating from outside, and then he came in and said, "You've gone too far." Now, this is where he went from being a witness to a defendant.
Yeah.
Because had he seen her and immediately called and said, "My wife has beaten this kid severely. I need an ambulance here. I need the police here," he may have never been arrested.
Yeah. And remember, they were still technically in foster care, so they weren't supposed to put a hand on them.
Right. You're not supposed to practice corporal punishment
No.
for a foster kid. So there's just a lot of things there.
Yeah. So this last one that came out, this fired me up. So he said that it all started when Victoria wasn't eating fast enough, that Ariel stood over Victoria and said, "You're not done, and you don't get to tell me when you're done."
My gosh.
That's horrible.
That is terrible.
And we know from Victoria's great aunt, Michelle Earps, that she said when they were contacted, so how they found out about it, they were contacted by a family friend and said, "Is this your Victoria?" And when she saw the picture and they were looking at the picture, they didn't recognize her.
Yeah. If you look at all three of the siblings' pictures on Ariel's Instagram, we said as soon as this case broke, those kids look they look sickly.
Yeah.
They were pale. They were skinny. And if you look at previous pictures from the biological family and then from the foster family, they've released a couple of pictures here and there. You can see the kids are noticeably thinner.
Yeah.
So is it where you didn't eat fast enough, so whatever's on your plate you don't get? I mean, why is this woman wanting these kids so bad? I'm still 100% convinced she saw them as a cash cow.
Yeah.
And she thought with her reality show fame, she was going to ride that to some reality show about a blended family. And I don't know, but
Yeah.
clearly, I mean, it's like Mommy Dearest.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Gosh.
And I'm sorry. He's just as guilty
I agree.
by his actions of no action.
Right.
He's just as guilty because he knew he wasn't supposed to put his hands on her either.
Right.
And that was one of the statements. He never touched her.
Yeah.
Is what he stated.
Well, I mean, maybe he didn't, but he may as well have if he allowed this to go on to the point to where you have a murdered child.
Exactly.
I think she's going to freak out when she finds out he may bond
Oh, yeah.
because she was very disappointed at her bond hearing. She seemed very surprised that she wasn't going to get bond.
Yeah.
And he initially waived his bond hearing, if you remember. Now, I kind of wondered if they were waiting on discovery just to formulate a better argument. Who knows?
Yeah.
But he was granted it. I would like to know the judge's reasons, really. And we won't know that, but I just don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. So,
Ugh,
but we'll keep you updated if he bonds out or whatever. We'll let you know.
yeah, we'll post it out there. Man, just I feel bad for Victoria Rose's biological family.
Yeah, they were in court today.
Yeah, they were all upset,
Yeah.
understandably.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked to Victoria Rose's aunt who posted on our Facebook page, and she posted a sweet little picture of that baby.
Yeah.
And they're upset and mad, and I would be too.
Yep.
And I guess at this point, the only hope is that whatever he's charged with, I mean, right now it's homicide by child abuse. If he's going to testify against her, they're going to probably work a deal out with him. But I don't think he should get less than accessory after the fact, and that he should go to, in my opinion, life in prison.
Yeah.
Sitting back and trying to cover this up because you're covering it up because you knew she did something devastatingly wrong.
Yeah. That's when you cover something up. You're
So-
trying to hide it.
So I guess the only thing right now that may make the family feel better is knowing he will go to prison for this. He's not going to get off.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, who knows?
I'm going to tell you, Victoria's mom, they talked to her a little bit, and she made a statement, and it was very true. She said, how can you turn an eye, and this isn't like word for word, but she basically said, how can you turn an eye when she was abusing my daughter when it could have in turn turned around and been your son?
Right. And we don't know that those children of hers were not beaten or
Yeah.
spanked hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I
find it hard to believe that, because he said she used a belt and a paddle.
and whatever. That was
Yeah.
his saying, was whatever, essentially what she could get her hands on.
Yeah. So I find it hard to believe that she only did that to one of those kids.
No.
What the four of those kids know
Yeah.
is crazy.
And I'm sure that they have been questioned by investigators that are specialized in questioning children. Children don't lie, and you can get what you want out of kids. I was watching the first 48, and they had a child witness who had seen her sibling get killed. It was a drive-by shooting, and that kid was the strongest, most amazing witness. It literally had a lot of these seasoned investigators in tears.
Yeah.
She very professionally and just in an adult-like way told what happened with no fear. You get these people in there, oh, I don't know who did it, and they know because they're scared. And the kid was like, yeah, it was Uncle so-and-so. And
Yeah.
here's exactly what happened. And she was maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they got a wealth of information from all those boys. And I feel bad for their children, too. Their lives have been turned upside down, and it seemed like they liked the kids. You saw a lot of pictures of those boys with their arms around her and cuddling with her and that kind of thing. But we'll see. I was really mad when I read the update today.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, like, how many cases, and you see it all over about CPS not following through, not listening to a parent, not seeing warning signs. And I totally get they're human, but you're working in a field where you can't make a mistake.
No, it's a child's life potentially.
Yeah.
It happened with Charles Vallow,
Yep.
and then this new case out of Emmett, Idaho.
Yeah. And then you have the other one we shared today. Where I forget where it's out of. It's the new one with the
I think it's L.A., Los Angeles.
Okay. It's the new one where the mom drowned her 3 kids.
Yeah.
And the dad was petitioned the court and said, she's not right. Let me have custody of my kids. And again, you see where the system has failed.
Right.
And there was one yesterday. The little dude that the little guy, I don't even know his name, but the boyfriend beat the kid to death.
Yeah.
So we shared that one too, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is at what point the woman in LA that drowned her children said that she was afraid these kids were going to be sold into human trafficking by her husband.
Yeah.
Now, March 1st of this year, so a month and a half ago, was when he petitioned the court saying she's crazy. The little guy that he was 2 years old.
Yep.
We were talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was in, I think that was in Florida.
Yeah. He would.
Jaden Hines.
Yeah. He would have, his dad said that he would cry when he had to go to his mom's.
Right. And they said he used his words to communicate that he did not want to go to his mother's house.
Yeah. So I don't understand if there's a question, if there's a petition, it can't take a month to 2 months to do something.
No.
It's got to be immediate.
Exactly. Because the autopsy on Jaden Hines, the 2-year-old from Florida, it showed multiple bruises on his entire body, a laceration to the liver, bleeding on the brain, and likely an adult human bite mark to the left forearm. And that's from wavy.com. That's a local station down there. And the dad, when you have a 2-year-old that audibly uses what words he can to say, I do not want to go.
Yeah.
that breaks my heart so bad because he was doing everything he could to try to say, this is not good for me. This is not safe.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There has to be a change. And again, we have it on our social media. In Victoria's case, they have that petition out to get the law changed because it is an issue. There needs to be a change.
All you have to do, if you want to see a perfect example of this, if you haven't, and I've mentioned it before, the trials of Gabriel Hernandez, which Fruit Loop, I'm going to make you watch that here soon because we have so many cases that involve CPS not doing their job. And now every day we have a dead child in the news because somebody in a field where your job is to protect children is not done.
Yeah.
We've got to, like, as a society, we got to raise our voices and say, this has got to stop. If you need more funding, find the funding.
Yes.
I mean, really, every single child's life is worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just tired of these politicians saying, I want results. I mean, that was here in South Carolina. I don't pay for results. You got to show me the results first.
I have witnessed myself and some family members having to a kid having to go into a situation where you don't know with a ex-husband, and it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary that you send little kids into environments that you know aren't healthy, but there's nothing you can do about it.
No,
the court says you have to go.
Right. And if you don't, you could end up in jail or you could lose what custody you have of that kid.
Yep.
So I mean, we have to trust. And I know there's a fine line because you get vindictive parents who use that as a weapon, Lori Vallow.
Yes.
But even if we have to sift through a lot of false claims and it saves one kid, it is absolutely worth it.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Fired up over here, guys. I'm
That's
sorry.
right. It makes me mad.
Yeah, my blood pressure is high right now. I'm just tired of seeing babies hurt because adults are idiots and evil.
Yeah. So the one case with the mom we were talking about in L.A. That she drowned, they were 3 years old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old.
Oh gosh, it reminds me of that case in Texas where the mom drowned 5 of her kids, and I believe she is out now because she was found incompetent to stand trial, and
which is extremely hard to do.
Right, but they put her in a hospital, and every so often they evaluate you, and if you have so many evaluations in a row that are good, I guess she got out.
No, it's just like Lori. You pass those. You know what to do, and you pass it.
Right. I'm sorry. If you drown your kids or you murder your kids, I don't care if you're crazy and have a mental illness. I don't want to say crazy. I'm not trying to stigmatize mental illness.
Yeah.
When I say crazy, I mean just crazy, not even mental illness like Lori crazy.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't think you should ever walk around as a free person again.
No.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
We got to change things, y'all. We're going to go on a mission. We're about to get fired up for
we're
a
gonna
mission
get,
here.
We're going to get a bus, and we're going to put that on a cross. We'll get some paint on there and just go across and just speak for these
Quit
kids.
failing the kids.
Yes.
And speaking of the kids, we were talking about our studio and how great it is, but I think the one addition we need, and I'm going to do this tomorrow, we're going to get pictures of all the victims of the cases we're covering.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
And I want to have them in here so that whenever we get tired of researching something or we're not having a great day, we look at those faces and say, this is why we do what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They got to
so-
have a voice.
Yeah.
Got to have a voice.
All right, so there's one more case out of Emmett, Idaho that we found very interesting. Another Idaho case, East Idaho News is reporting on this. It was very eerie yesterday when you hear of missing siblings that haven't been seen in a while.
Yeah, a lot of the comments were, is this like the Vallow case?
It was deja vu for a few hours until we knew some other details.
Yep. So you've got the timeline.
Yeah, so there's kind of a rough timeline. So in 2019, okay, 3 of these kids, there are 4 children, but 3 are the focus of all of this. 3 children tested positive for hard drugs, and I believe they were removed from their mother's care. We don't know the dynamics, but in September of 2020, the oldest, who was a boy, runs away. He's a teenager. The next month, in October of 2020, another teenager, the daughter, runs away. So
And I think now he's 17 and she's 14, so they were 16 and 13.
Yeah. How bad of a situation does it have to be
Wow.
for that age to run away? And a month apart at that. So in April of 2021, the 3 children, the 2 runaways, plus the 8-year-old named Taryn, are reported missing. So that's this month. And then April 15th, which was yesterday, the body of Taryn was found, and who we believe to be the grandmother, she was arrested. The 2 runaways, the 2 teenagers, they are safe, and they have been in contact with authorities and their family.
Wow.
So I found the grandma's social media account last night. And how ironic that several of her posts are children that have been killed, where's the justice?
Wow.
And very pro law enforcement. But yeah, she had several posts about children that had been murdered on her Facebook page.
Wow.
They had a screen in the front yard. So it's one of those screens where if you have a body that is found in a very public area that's within eyeshot of the public, they will sometimes put the screen up that blocks the body where you can't see it from straight on. So I did see that in the yard. We don't know exactly where they found this poor girl. But so what happened when the coroner was called?
So they're being very tight-lipped about this. Like every time they're interviewed, this is what we're stating. We're not taking any questions. We're going back inside. But so when the coroner was called, he was called to remove sensitive material. And then the Jim County, I guess it's Jim, that's what I would say, County Sheriff's Office confirmed that there were remains found inside the home. They're believed to be those of 8-year-old Taryn Summers, who was reported missing on Monday, but they're waiting for official identification.
Yeah. I don't think that the media has actually confirmed it was the grandmother, but people that know the family, they have commented on some social media stuff, and they've all but they've said that Connie Smith was the grandmother.
Yeah, and it don't take you to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
Because on her Facebook, she was friends with the 2 teenagers.
Yeah.
They were on her friend list. So, yeah. That's kind of what we wanted to hop on and talk about. Yeah, it's just, this is one of those days where you go through all of these stories and then you just think, man, these poor kids.
It's the majority of the stuff we cover is kids.
It's sad.
It is sad. It's
sad.
sad that kids. I've said this before, I think, on a podcast. The old school they tore down here. I thought it'd be really cool to take that over and do like an orphanage or something. I mean,
right? Yeah, unwanted kids or
yeah,
kids that have been abused. I mean, we've always said we can make it fun.
Yeah, because every kid deserves to have a happy, healthy childhood.
Yeah.
Because they haven't asked to be born into any of this mess. And they deserve that.
Yeah.
And it's sad that you see these kids. I mean, we're still covering the Orson Welles West stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's still nothing with that case.
No.
And those kids are still missing.
Right.
So,
I just don't think those kids are alive either.
Yeah.
After all this time, if somebody had them, they would have given them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh boy.
So,
well,
just heavy stuff.
It is heavy stuff, and I just makes me want to go hug my babies, and just thank God that I had we've said it before, we were very blessed with our upbringing to be surrounded by just pure love and just a childhood where we were able to be kids and never had to deal with adult issues. And now you cover this stuff and you realize how lucky you were.
Oh yeah, like my childhood was Sandlot. The movie The Sandlot, that's my childhood.
Exactly. So thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know how much it means to me now to look back as 43. Yeah, I forgot how old I was for a second. 43.
I'm 44, so.
Sucker. But
you
yeah.
old.
So yeah, but if anything comes up, we will either hop on and do another sweet tea, or if not, we will talk to you on Sunday. What are we going to do on Sunday, Fruit Loop?
So we are going to go over the Tom Ware interview. We've broke that down, and we're gonna give you the ins and outs of that, and
This is essentially his side
yeah,
of
it's
things.
what he says happened.
He was very open with us, and the conversation was over 3 hours, I believe.
Yeah.
3.5 hours. It's
Yeah.
very long. He was very kind to us, and there was nothing off limits. He really opened up with us, but we have limits of what we will discuss.
Yeah,
If it involves somebody who's innocent in this, it's not coming out of our mouth, and that's just how we roll.
yeah. We're just gonna we share what is relative to the case.
Right. And nothing else, because it's not our job.
Nope.
So, anyways, yeah, so I think that's going to be a really good episode. And, yeah, so we're going to give you what Tom Ware says is what happened.
Yeah, there's some good new information that I hadn't heard.
Right. So we're going to
so-
break it all down for you on Sunday. So you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you then.
Y'all be on the lookout for another scare video.
It's going to be me scaring you.
Okay, I have to tell this because this was hilarious. So she tried to get me the other night when it's when I brought Taylor home. So my windows are tinted on my vehicle.
Yeah.
So she comes running and like jumps at the window and she's filming it, but my windows are tinted.
Yeah, totally just tinted window, and
Yeah.
it was a bust.
She was like, dang it.
Yeah. About got
Yes.
hit by your car, too.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, so that's all right.
Yeah.
It's coming, guys.
It's coming.
We're going to make it good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shout out to all our top fans on Facebook.
Yeah.
I see your little top fan badge thing there.
Yeah, and we got some stickers in.
Yeah.
So maybe on Sunday we're going to give you guys an email address, and I think we have, 50
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys have asked for T-shirts and stuff, and it feels kind of weird for us to do that because we're just literally having conversations we would normally have without a cool studio and a mic. But if that's something you guys are interested in, let us know.
We are working on it.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll see you on Sunday. Have a good one.
Good night.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.